Hey guys, welcome to Small channel. Today with me again, Jaina. Just before COVID, being a digital nomad in Southeast Asia was a pretty good life. All your business was online, all your money came from online, and you could work from your laptop anywhere in the world. The typical digital nomad lifestyle was like this. Spend 2 or 3 months in Thailand, then when the visa expires, go spend a month in Vietnam, then another month in Bali on the beaches or in the mountains of Ubud, then maybe explore Malaysia, or perhaps a short trip to Nepal, get a visa at a Thai embassy in another country, and finally return to civilization in Thailand and repeat. However, COVID ended all of that. While Thailand was open for foreigners for some time last year in summer, you had to do 14 days of quarantine. And the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, or Bali are still closed for normal tourists. Unless you had a business visa or a work permit, it's difficult to enter any of those countries today except for Thailand. So, what's a digital nomad to do? It does not make sense to just fly to Thailand for a couple of months on a tourist visa, spend 14 days in quarantine, and then fly all the way back home. Digital nomads want to spend a bit more time than that, so they can focus on work and enjoy the country for a while. And even though Thailand has super fast internet, good facilities, and the ability to live for a lower cost than back home, the restrictions to travel around and in and out of the country has made being a digital nomad almost impossible. So, is that life over? What are some alternatives? Before I continue, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel so you can get more updates as the situation changes. When you like the video, more people can see it and it helps our channel to grow, so please help us! Okay, now let's get back to our topic. So here are some alternatives for digital nomads. Number 1. Sponsored work permits. You've seen some of these companies advertising on YouTube about sponsored work permits. These companies will hire you and you pay them a substantial amount every month to handle taxes, payroll, and other tasks. Basically, your monthly income has to be deposited with them and they pay you from it while taking a nice chunk of it for them. Just how much do you pay them? Well, that varies from company to company. You have to go into their process to find out. But one downside of this is that you have to be careful. Some of these companies operate in a gray area. You had best be sure that you're indeed working for their company and getting paid the right amount of salary, or it could come back to bite you later when you have to do things like permanent residency in Thailand. The government pays a lot of scrutiny to these kinds of operations, but if you just plan to be in Thailand for a few years and have no plan to live here on a more permanent basis, it could probably work for you. Next alternative is to start your own company. Did you know that Smile was started by a digital nomad? One of the best ways to be in Thailand these days is to start a company. Assuming you have a decent enough online business, you could hire some part-time or full-time Thai staff to help you. Your online business could pay your company to do these tasks, then your company can pay you. And not only you could get a business visa, but you can also get a work permit too. You no longer have to leave Thailand every few months and you're contributing to the economy too. Thank you very much. The downside is that you do have to pay some taxes and do the proper bookkeeping every month. And you do have to have 4 Thai staff. Some of these can be full-time and part-time. Running a business is not an easy task, and to be honest, it's probably not right for most digital nomads who only make a couple $1,000s every month. But it's the most sustainable and legal way to stay in Thailand for as long as you want, or as long as your business survives. Number 3. Get an education visa. If your work online is not full-time, you can sign up to study Muay Thai boxing or learn the Thai language. You would get a visa for at least 6 months at a time. But you do have to demonstrate some competence in what you're learning. For example, Thai immigration will speak to you in Thai language if you're studying Thai. Maybe they might want you to demonstrate some moves for boxing, and you do have to actually attend classes 2 or 3 times a week, usually for about 2 to 4 hours at a time. But between classes, you can go back to your room and do your work. It's a good low-cost way to stay in Thailand legitimately. At the time of this video, most schools are just opening after COVID. So if you plan on doing this, then start emailing some of the schools to inquire what you need to do. Please contact us for a list of schools for both Thai language and Muay Thai that offer the education visa as part of their program. And the last alternative is proposals from the government. Recently, the Tourism Authority of Thailand has put out a very interesting proposal for a digital nomad visa. What do you have to do to get this visa? You need to be making at least 40,000 US dollars per year. You need to also have health insurance. You also need to have a bachelor's degree and at least 5 years of experience in your field. But the cherry at the top of that pie is that if this proposal is accepted, you could get a 10-year multiple entry visa. You would have to pay taxes in Thailand like a normal Thai person though, and the proposal would even enable you to buy land in Thailand. Now, don't be too cynical. A lot of proposals in Thailand tend to eventually become law, but it's clear that the Tourism Authority of Thailand is seeing how the ability to work remotely is changing the world, and it's clear that Thailand wants to get in on that action. Just imagine if you work at a big company that allows remote work from anywhere and you get a salary of at least 40,000 US dollars per year, you could potentially be eligible for that 10-year visa. We'll see what happens in the next year. Thailand has some of the fastest internet speeds in the world. It also has really fantastic beaches and great cities too. People are friendly, good food from all over the world is here. The weather is awesome most of the time and it's easy to travel here. That's why we were recently voted as a top destination for digital nomads around the world. I hope this video has been really helpful for you. If you want help to set up a local business in Thailand to help serve as the back office for your online business, you're in the right place. Contact us in the link in the description and let's talk about your case and the best way to make it happen. We're done for today, guys. See you next time!